Hello everyone. I just released Bonding Together on the Bankless newsletter, and so we are going to read it together. Let's dive right in. Back in 2017, I discovered that my gaming computer with a single AMD GPU could produce roughly $5 a day in mining this thing called ETH. I thought that was pretty cool because $5 a day can really add up. That's roughly the amount of money that people try and save when they cut out their daily Starbucks and instead brew their morning coffee at home. Doing the math, for $5 a day would turn into roughly $1,600 a year, which is quite a lot for a broke college student trying to figure out how to get into graduate school. Not only that, but I didn't need to go to work for this money. This wasn't a job. I didn't have a boss signing my paychecks. The ETH just showed up automatically. There was no one separating me and my income in ETH. My income was paid by this protocol, Ethereum, and my choice to provide work for this protocol was mine and mine alone. Realizing the power of protocol-issued income, I decided to double down. From July to December 2017, I had taken over multiple rooms in my dad's house with a mining computer. At my peak, I had 27 GPUs spinning in different corners of my dad's house. We didn't pay a cent in heating that winter. Operating these mining machines was no easy task. Building and troubleshooting these units was some of the most frustrating times of my life, but when I finally got them working smoothly, it made me feel like a true stakeholder of Ethereum. I was responsible for the uptime of these machines, and by proxy, a maintainer of the Ethereum network. I was a steward of Ethereum. It was me that stood in the way of people looking to do harm to this industry, and Ethereum was compensating me for that protection. I was a flag bearer for Ethereum, and I had the skin in the game to prove it. It might have been one of your transactions that I processed through my internet back in 2017 or 18. Thanks for the ETH. Down the rabbit hole. However, just because I was running GPUs didn't mean I knew what Ethereum was or its significance. I had a lot of learning to do. Instead of focusing on the GRE to get into grad school, I found myself reading white papers, watching YouTube videos of Vitalik, and learning about crypto economics from Carl Flourish's cryptoeconomics.study. Having skin in the game of multiple thousands of dollars of mining equipment really incentivizes you to figure out what the hell it is you're actually mining. I applied to go to the ETH Denver conference in February of 2018. I didn't really know what I was going to do there, but I justified the trip by planning to also go to the University of Colorado Boulder so I could check out the physical therapy program and tour the school. My plan was to go to the ETH Denver conference on Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday, Uber over to the school and see if it was a place where I could see myself living for the next 3 years. At the ETH Denver hackathon, I attended talks about topics I wasn't familiar with and watched coding lectures that I didn't remotely understand. There were breakout sessions about crypto and wealth distribution, political implications, and sci-fi applications. The richness of these conversations I was a part of was unlike anything I had ever experienced before. I had found an industry of intrinsically curious, politically motivated, self-starting optimists who all saw the power of Ethereum from 1,000 different perspectives. Sunday came, and instead of getting myself up to Boulder to tour the school, I said, fuck it. Being a part of this ecosystem was not something I was willing to miss out on. I didn't know how I was going to get a career in Ethereum. I wasn't a coder or developer or of any kind, but it didn't matter. Mentally, I was in Ethereum. Ethereum found me, and it will find you too. This piece is not an article about my history with Ethereum. It's an anecdote about the relationship between the inclusivity of Ethereum's consensus mechanism and its ability to corral, inspire, and coordinate as many people as possible to join the cause. Ethereum was founded on the principles of maximum inclusivity. Reducing the barrier to participate in blockchain validation to a computer with internet access means that the Ethereum network can be owned and operated by everyone. Scaling the base layer by sharding and reducing the cost of transacting on the L1 means the network can be used by everyone. Reducing the barrier for these two things is how you build the largest possible tent to host the largest possible set of Ethereum stakeholders. Because Ethereum chose to prioritize GPUs over ASICs, individuals like me were able to be included in the consensus of the base layer. The inclusivity of the base layer works its way up the techno-social stack that is present in all cryptoeconomic systems. If base layer validation is confined to a smaller set of people, the organizational scaffolding created by the system doesn't scale as well. It's confined to a select few and thus has not maximized for inclusivity. Sadly, the era of home GPU mining has passed. Competition to be a proof of work miner for Ethereum is too fierce for the average individual to be able to participate. If you are not leveraging huge economies of scale or willing to migrate to cheap electricity, you are no longer in the game. Even worse, ASICs will always eventually come. And while the ETH hash has been a great algorithm for staving them off, the reality is that the ASICs have been dominating the Ethereum blockchain for years now. Proof of work is inherently centralizing. It reduces the number of global participants who are able to take ownership over the network to a small set of people who are competing on ever larger economies of scale. Proof of work inherently results in this outcome. There's no avoiding it. Proof of stake, on the other hand, minimizes the cost of validation down to the bare minimum, meaning that the average individual already has the hardware needed to participate in network consensus. The only advantage that a well-capitalized entity has over the average Joe is that they can purchase more stake, but this doesn't remove Joe's ability to stake his ETH in a self-sovereign way. This is why a properly designed proof of stake system is genius. By maximizing the size of the population that is participating in network validation, you generate the most socially scalable blockchain. The more people who become a part of the validation at the base layer, the more likely they become interested in the network itself. Reducing this barrier down to the absolute minimum for Ethereum means that the only barrier for entry is owning and holding ETH. The elimination of the need to purchase and maintain ASICs means that capital can be redirected by the Ethereum consensus mechanism into the purchasing and staking of Ether. Building the largest army. In the Bankless podcast, Slaying Moloch, Amin, Kevin, Ryan, and I discussed the concept of coordinating groups. Amin raised the point that social groups or organizations form when they are able to out-coordinate other groups. Groups rise and fall based on their ability to keep themselves composed and coordinated. If an alternative group can coordinate better, then that group becomes the new status quo. Humanity is a march of groups constantly iterating and improving on their coordination incentives. We have watched these coordination incentives create thousands of types of groups, the most successful of which have been religions, companies, and nation states. I continued this line of thought in my piece on coordination versus defection, in which I claim that the health of an organizing body is reflected in the ratio of its coordination versus defection incentives. The stronger an organizational body is able to incentivize coordination and disincentivize defection, the healthier and more composed a body is able to be. Nation-states primarily use defection disincentives to maintain their composition. Fines, jails, and reward exclusion generally keep the citizenry following the rules of the nation. This strategy has worked pretty well for the nation-state over the years, as they've evolved into the largest coordinating body humanity has conceived. Rather than using punishment to incentivize coordination, Ethereum uses rewards. Ethereum pays you for being a part of its organization. Unlike nation-states, which taxes you for existing, Ethereum pays you for contributing security to the protocol. Nation-states need to tax their constituents to maintain upkeep. In contrast, Ethereum pays its constituents to maintain uptime. That's the difference. Which is the more scalable organization? The one that requires payment or the one that pays you? Which will recruit a larger, stronger army of individuals who feel ownership and responsibility over the health of the system? Proof of stake and the ability to own and operate a share of the network inside your own home will make Ethereum become the largest social organization the world has ever seen. Security through the social layer. First and foremost, crypto economic systems are secure through incentives. It doesn't need a social layer to protect the blockchain. A brutal rationalist should be incentivized to stake ETH as a result of economic incentives, and Ethereum should be able to achieve security via incentives alone. That is what Ethereum has been designed to achieve, and that is what it will do. Raw, concrete incentives. However, we cannot discount the value of the social layer as it comes to the security of Ethereum. ETH as money has a certain monetary premium baked into its price on the secondary market. Because ETH is treated as money by a growing population, it achieves a premium on its valuation as the native money of the Ethereum economy. Everyone starts off in this industry by reorganizing their brain to integrate a new model of money. The US dollar is only valuable because of the narrative that we all share. Understanding the concept of money as a collective belief, a shared myth, is the first step into the world of cryptocurrency. Money memes. Out of the collective belief arises real fundamentals. Gold is a shiny yellow rock, yet it has a level of liquidity and salability that is unrivaled by any real asset. The real intrinsic value of gold is a result of the meme layer on top of the asset. This meme layer is why it's rational to invest millions of dollars in equipment and energy to dig up this shiny yellow rock. The meme makes it profitable. The meme makes it rational. Ethereum achieves a security premium via its monetary premium in ETH. Ethereum as an institution becomes harder, stronger, and larger when more people treat ETH as money. The sum of all financial returns to staking is a function of the size of ETH's monetary premium. As many Bitcoiners know full well, the simple act of buying and holding an asset is an active act of monetization. The more people that do this, the more money the asset becomes. The reflexivity of the meme layer becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it is the role and responsibility of Ethereum's social layer to guide this meme into its full potential. The meme layer can't emerge without being based upon the reality that a brutal rationalist must be incentivized to protect Ethereum. The meme is based on that reality. But once that meme layer does emerge, there becomes more room for more brutal rationalists to stake more ETH. And every further individual that removes ETH from the secondary market and stakes it into Ethereum is someone who is actively monetizing ETH, the asset. This is the genius of the bootstrapability of L1 blockchains. You don't need to be a builder. You don't need to know how to code. The bare minimum that is required is to purchase and hold the asset. Rewards from ETH staking are a revolutionary incentive to get this done. Memetic warfare. If you are reading this, then you are in the small cohort of individuals who hold the power to influence the trajectory of this system. I am here in Ethereum to achieve its I'm here to see Ethereum achieve its maximal potential, and I want to see it done quickly. The world appears to be falling apart at the seams. Discoordination, lack of trust, wealth inequality, financial instability are all abundant in the legacy world. Ethereum is an ark that we are trying to build before the storm comes and floods the landscape. And any attempt to get a stronger ark built faster is a noble cause. There is a fundamentally moral and ethical argument for what we are all doing here in this industry. Cryptocurrency is a political and societal revolution more than it is a technological or monetary one. And I believe everyone who is reading this likely believes that the future will be better because of Ethereum. The critiques of this memetic warfare fight will say that this is a coordinated attempt to pump ETH for profit maximalization, and that the orchestrators are just trying to shill their bags. Let it be known that this critique exists and I am aware of it. And let it also be known that I am in crypto for the money. I am a brutal rationalist. On the other hand, Ethereum is a massively coordinating machine, and the bigger and more powerful we can make it, the better the world becomes. Let it also be known that I am in crypto for the bottom-up, little guy first revolution. I'm also an idealist. Intrinsic to the power of this industry is that it only works when a sufficiently large group of people rally behind the cause. The nobility of this revolution directly derives from the fact that it garners volunteer support from the bottom up, rather than a coerced by a top-down authority. It is inherently a revolution by the people for the people. It fundamentally cannot work unless it serves the needs of real people. A call to arms. Networks are spread at the individual level. Ethereum adoption occurs one person at a time, and the message of Ethereum is best expressed in as small and viral package as possible. This is why we have generated a ton of World War II era propaganda material to get this movement kickstarted. All right, so this is kind of what the conclusion of this article gets to, is like we have a bunch of these images, these World War II, like it's your civic duty, it's your role, it's your responsibility type images, and we want everyone to spread that. So we're going to get to the rest of them in this article. It was the job of Ethereum researchers, core devs, and client teams to make Ethereum security work under rational conditions. Ethereum is designed to be protected by raw incentives. It will survive in any condition. It's now time for the social layer to take over and amplify the power of this reality to the maximal degree. As stewards of the Ethereum narrative, we are now responsible for the progress of Ethereum to be understood and appreciated by the average individual. The developers have built the unshakable foundation. It's now time to convince the people to come and settle on this new fertile ground. The fight starts by staking ETH. First, let me preface this by saying that ETH has intentionally been left as a difficult thing to do, that ETH staking. It is going to take work and research to fully understand what you are doing, and even I haven't fully understood how it works yet. I'm still working on it. The difficulty acts as a filter to ensure that the people without the technical capacity to do it don't do it. That being said, staking will become easier over time, and eventually it will be as simple as buying a staked ETH derivative token on Uniswap. In 1 to 2 years, the unstaked ETH on the ETH1 chain will become fungible with the staked ETH on the Ethereum Beacon chain, and at that point, ETH staking will be trivially easy. Ethereum client teams and developers have 1 to 2 years to perfect the staking experience. Meanwhile, Ethereum's social layer has 1 to 2 years to sharpen our meme game. Just like how developing applications is a constantly iterative process of consolidation, efficiency, and ease, memes are also an interactive communication tool that compress information into smaller and more viral packets. They can always get better. They can always become more efficient. The better we get at sharing memes, the more efficient we can communicate the fundamental merits of this revolution. And that effort starts now. Spread the memes. Learn to efficiently communicate what Ethereum is, what it does, and what it means. Be pragmatic. Use images. Recruit an army. Ethereum is here to slay Moloch, but it's still in the early stages. It needs to grow stronger. It's in the hands of the social layer now, and we have the power to steer Ethereum into the future it deserves. Ethereum is a nation of volunteer recruits. It lives or dies by the incentives it produces to attract this army. Any good product is always made better by a marketing effort. If you build it, they won't necessarily come. But if we meme the best features of this revolutionary technology into the forefront of the conversation, then these hard-coded incentives have far more reach and power than they otherwise would have. The ability to stake your ETH and have a claim on your share of Ethereum's security budget is powerful. Let's share it with the world so everyone can join the revolution. We might be diluting our staking rewards, but the value of ETH and the size of Ethereum will be orders of magnitude higher. Ethereum is constructing the world's biggest organization, and it's our responsibility to get as many people on this ship as possible. Let's go recruit an army. So I'm going to put this link in the show notes as well, but there are images in this article, and there's a link to a Google Drive that has all these images. Share them, copy them. Make more of them. If you make more of them, I want them. Tag me on Twitter with these images. Make more images. Spread the memes. This is our responsibility, right? The fundamental message of this article is that the Ethereum developers are, zeroing in on being done. Like, they're done, almost. They have some more work to do, but like now as the social layer of Ethereum, like it's our turn to take over. Like it's now they've built the product. Now we need to market it. Now we need to spread the message, and that's our role. And there's any good product can always have good and better marketing, and it will make it overall a more holistic system. So the ball's in our court. The ball is in our court. So spread the memes. Let's get this army recruited. And thanks for listening.